Let me ask you a question. Do you really believe that it is possible to become a true business owner and get off the transaction treadmill once and for all? Obviously, I have done this in my business and I'm a bit biased, so I'm going to go through 5 common myths and give you case studies of people that have gone through real estate B school and the experiences that they've had, and kind of hear it from them how they've been able to transform their businesses and their lives. Think about this question. Do you really believe that it's possible to become a true business owner and get off the transaction treadmill once and for all? So let's get into myth number 1. You have to put in more hours to make more money. So a lot of agents think that your success in real estate and your income is a direct function of the hours that you put in. So let's kind of go through this here. So the problem, again, most agents believe that income is purely a function of the amount of time and effort they put forth, so they put into their business. So let's talk about some solutions, right? So in my real estate business, I built it to the point where it is a fully functioning, in every sense of the word, true business. So it runs 99.9% of the day-to-day activities run without me, and we are actively growing the business, and I work on Tuesdays when I'm in town. So fully leveraged business. So let's talk about some solutions to this myth here. So achieving maximum productivity is a deliberate process. So one thing I was really good at is about making choices with my time and constantly increasing my value. And so number 2, when I talk about focusing on dollar productive activities, this is a measure. Like if you think you're worth $50 an hour or $100 an hour or $250 an hour, those are going to guide your decisions about where you spend your time. Number 3, absolutely adding buyer agent leverage and training them well. So getting separating yourself from the buyer side of the business. Those transactions tend to take more time, right? And just off hours time, evenings and weekends. So adding buyer agent leverage and then training them very well. In Real Estate B School, we have a phenomenal buyer agent training program. Number 4, enjoy the ride, right? So appreciate the journey, the struggle. Brendan Burchard has a good quote. You can Google Brendan Burchard. I think he's what he calls it. So yeah, building a business is not easy, right? But the rewards are huge, and you've got to enjoy the ride. So we're going to hear from Shawn Hellman in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Started real estate in 2004. His first full-time year was a year before me. His shifted his focus a little bit during the downturn. He'll explain a little bit of that. Always a solid top producer, but it came, like most real estate agents, by sacrificing his time. And we've actually cut his hours back by 40% in the last 12 months. He sold 40 homes last year. He will sell over 80 homes this year, and we have positioned him to double his production next year in Real Estate B School. He's systematically implementing B School's 4 core building blocks with really amazing success. So let's hear from Shawn Hellman.
Having the right focus on a daily and weekly basis, that was probably something I really struggled with a lot. And that's one thing that, first starting with Lars, that you learn right away about him. He's very focused, and he wants to make sure that he instills those productivity and even just performance things into you on a daily basis. And for me, I've always been kind of a slow implementer, not really taking the right actions, and maybe trying to do too much in a week versus doing the right couple of steps and focus on one thing and then move on to the next thing. Just dominate your day really helps you focus on that, so you make sure you tackle your first project and you can move on to your second one, finish that one, and go to your third. But also focusing on your money-making activities. I mean, those things are really key to me. And one thing that people don't realize in a business, like for me, number one money-making activity is prospecting, but making sure that your team prospects. Those are huge, and making sure you give enough amount of time to that activity on a daily basis. And probably one of my favorite things that Lars does is your positive focus. What are your 10 wins for the week, for the day? And, lead with gratitude is something that I've always been told a lot. I think that's kind of where that positive focus comes from, is just being thankful, like, hey, I'm so glad that I, got to get home by 5:30 today to have dinner with my family. That could be one of your positive focuses, or I'm glad that I got those that listing appointment set for tomorrow, and just focusing on what's important. A lot of times you go to a conference, and this is more of a hands-on workshop versus a conference, and you get all these great ideas, but you never do it. It just stays on the shelf, and then you may get around to parts of it. Whereas you walk away from the workshop, you already have this done. You just got to go and put the finishing touches on it. So a lot of the work's already done. You did it, and you did it at the workshop. Lars is there to help you through any big hurdles that you may have. Lars is always bringing in new value into B School and to the coaching program. And the last thing that he brought in April is a 90-day onboarding system for buyers agents and how you train your buyers agents in your team. And for me, that's been a big hang up, and it's still an ongoing process for me. But it's exciting because he's bringing in new systems and new training tools that you can take and bring into your business to make sure that you build a great team. Lars is doing this on his team now, so it's not like he's just coming up with this stuff in there. He's actually doing this. Recruiting, that's a big aspect for me right now. Always be recruiting is something that Lars always says. So I'm looking to add the right agents onto our team and adding more leverage to where I can focus mostly on the listing side and on the team leadership and ownership side of the business. Eventually working my way out of production. That's the ultimate 3-year vision for me. But with that said, looking at adding an ISA here in the you know, next year as I continue to grow our buyer agent side of the business.